Oh! How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to episode 1 of the F1 2020 Mine Team Series. Lozzer Racing, myself and Callum Ilott in this team, ready to do battle in the first race of the season at Bahrain. We pretty much did all the R&D stuff and stuff like that in the last episode, didn't we? Just before we got to the race day. So just going through my facilities here, just having a look at how much they cost, because I completely could not remember. Yeah, I guess we just we go straight into qualifying, where I am doing a full qualifying. Like before, in previous times when I've tried this, I did short qualifying, but this time I want to try and get the full experience, full qualifying, 3 sessions. So this is Q1 and not just qualifying, as we go on our first flying lap of the Bahrain International Circuit here. Our first lap in anger in this car. I did do a couple of the practice things before this. I don't normally do practice because I've done enough practice on these tracks now, in my opinion. And but of course, for the first race of the season in this career mode, you have to go into practice 1. You can't simulate practice, which is a bit frustrating, but it is what it is. But so far, it's a nice clean lap around here. I mean, normally, I will admit, most qualifying laps I do require flashbacks because I'm just not that good at pushing the limits. Well, in fact, I'm too good at pushing the limits. I push them too much. So, but actually, this lap is looking really good so far. I mean, obviously, our car is not the fastest car, and we're going to struggle to get out of Q1, but we're doing a very clean lap around here. It's not very often I do one take on a lap around here, but we are going to keep going here. It looks like we're not going to use a flashback any soon, as we go a bit wide there in that turn. But we're still going strong here. I don't know how fast this lap is. I haven't got a clue. We're just going to keep going here. As Max Verstappen sets a 1:26. I doubt we're going to reach a 1:26 on this lap. We're already at 1:24. We're not even at the line yet. As we cross the line for our first banker lap, it's a 1:28.6. It's faster than Nicholas Latifi, but I want faster than more than just Nicholas Latifi. Thank you very much. As we head out for our second flyer just towards the end of Q1, we've actually got our teammate Callum Ilott in front of us, so he's going to give us a nice little bit of slipstream down the straights. Whether he'll hinder us in the corners or not, you never know, but he's currently in P19, so he's one place behind me, so we're both trying to improve up to, well, hopefully to get out of Q1, but it's a very tall order for us to maybe get out of Q1. We are gaining a bit of time on the straights, like I said, probably because of Callum giving us that slipstream. But we come to the end of the lap. We've gained about 2.5 tenths on our previous lap. Callum Ilott is still ahead of us, so his lap time is probably about the same as mine, which is not bad considering. But we come to cross the line here. We just gone down a place to 19th as someone improved their time, but we end up in P18 with Callum Ilott in P19, so that's not too bad at all. But a bit of a shock there is the fact that Esteban Ocon in the Renault has also been knocked out in Q1, with the likes of Grosjean, Raikkonen and Magnussen getting through. A bit of a shock there. We're going to be on the same row as a Renault, so that's going to be fun. But let's get into the race. And you might have noticed through that qualifying session that I didn't have any game sound, so I've now got to do my best Crofty impression. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Albon, Verstappen, Charles Leclerc and Perez, Vettel, Norris, Ricciardo and Lance Stroll, Sainz, Gasly, Daniel Kvyat and Magnussen, Grosjean, Raikkonen, Esteban Ocon and Lawrence, Ilott, Russell, Giovinazzi and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway. You know you've played the F1 game a lot when you know how Crofty exactly says all of the drivers' names in the grid order. Anyway, back to me now, and me and my car. And going through the strategy for today's race, it's going to be a one-stop from mediums to hards, which is going to work in our favour because apart from Lewis Hamilton, the rest of the top 10 are all starting on softs, which means they are more than likely going to have to do a two-stop, whereas all of us from 11th to 20th are starting on mediums. So the order of this race could be shuffled up very, very nicely and could make for an interesting race. And that interesting race is about to begin right now as we go to the grid for the 5 red lights as they come on ahead of the drivers. And it's lights out and away we go in Bahrain. And it's a decent start compared to Esteban Ocon. But in the second phase, Ocon and Raikkonen get away from me. But I decide to stick it to the inside, go up the inside of Raikkonen and Magnussen and Ocon. And just try and wheel the car around, I guess. I had no throttle whatsoever there. I just let it roll through. We have to go off the track there for good measure as Magnussen kind of forces off a little bit and Ocon gets back past us. But we're up 1 place to P16, which is not that bad. And also Magnussen and Ilott have also gained a position. Well, Ilott's gained a position because Raikkonen has dropped way down the order there as we head through the twisty bit of the Bahrain International Circuit, and we surge up the inside of Esteban Ocon to try and go up to P15, and we've made it happen. We've sailed down the inside of the Renault, and we're now up into P15. It's a decent start for us. We've gained 3 positions in half a lap, and now we set about trying to catch up to Gasly and Grosjean. Again, apologies for no game sound. I'm sure it won't happen again. I did sort the problem. I found what the problem was, but it doesn't matter about that now. We've caught up to Gasly, and we're going to try and make a move. It's lap 5. It's taken us 4 laps to even get close to Gasly. As we're in a bit of a DRS train, so, you know, Grosjean had DRS, Gasly had DRS, I had DRS, Ocon, Magnussen behind me also have DRS behind me, and Ocon's still trying to attack me whilst I'm trying to catch up to these 2 in front of me as well. But we've got a great run this time. We've gone a bit wide off the track, but we're going to send it down the inside of Pierre Gasly up into P14. It's a brilliant little move there. There was a bit of banging wheels, and this is where I actually messed up a little bit because I was trying to get the replay camera of that and accidentally did a flashback. But don't worry, because I still did the move again anyway. Pretty much the exact same thing. We bang tyres, we push him out the way, and this time I do get the replay footage for it. I didn't want it to be a replay. I wanted the actual replay footage to be the actual footage. I wasn't going to have the onboard footage in the video. But anyway, we move, and we move on towards the end of the same lap where we're now looking to size up a move on Romain Grosjean up in P13. As we go on to the pit straight here, we've got DRS, we've got ERS, we're in rich mix, we're catching up to Grosjean, we're in the slipstream of Grosjean. Are we going to make a move into turn 1 on Grosjean? Yes, we are. We're going to go to the outside as Grosjean defends the inside line, but it's no use. We have a little bit of the back end stepping out there, but we get past Grosjean and we get the DRS for good measure. And now Grosjean's going to come under pressure from Pierre Gasly, and Gasly's got so much speed that he might have a go at me here as I very heavily go on the brakes there, but Gasly thinks better of it. The point where we start moving up the order a bit more as the soft tyre runners are starting to pit. We're currently up to P10. As you can see, Sainz up ahead is in the pit, as is Leclerc, as is one of the Racing Points, as is one of the Red Bulls and one of the Mercedes. Albon and Bottas, they are in the pits because they are pitting off their soft tyres, and we're now up to P5. And that's going to quickly become P3 as the final 2 soft tyre runners of Stroll and Norris come into pit, and now we're P3 behind Hamilton and Kvyat, but Gasly's got a good run on us here. He goes down the inside into turn 1, we defends the line to make it turn into the inside line for turn 2, but Gasly's hung it round the outside. He's still going, he's got the DRS, we're in rich mix, we've got ERS, and now Ocon's joining the fight to make it 3 wide into turn 4. How is this one going to end? We have to go take a really wide line just to avoid a collision. Ocon's still there on our inside, but in the end he thinks better of it. Oh, in fact, it was Gasly, not Ocon. Ocon backed out beforehand. But what a battle it was between myself and the 2 of the French drivers on the grid. But it's not over yet as we go on to lap 9 now. Gasly's got another really good run on as we're in rich mix. We're using ERS, but Gasly's got the DRS, and that's going to help him to try and go around the outsides. He gives us a little tap on the front wheel, on the front tyre, and we keep the inside line, and now Ocon's coming back again to join the party. We've kept ahead of Gasly this time. We still don't have the DRS, so Gasly might have another opportunity, but now he's under pressure from Esteban Ocon, and Ocon breezes past Gasly. Look in the mirror at the top of the screen. Ocon, he's managed to get ahead of Gasly. Gasly got ahead into turn 4, but Ocon hung it round the outside and made the move stick, and now it's a faster car that we have to deal with behind us. As, let's face it, the Renault is a bit faster than the AlphaTauri. But we're not done there with that yet, as the onslaught continues, as we're at the end of lap 10 leading on to lap 11, and this time it is Esteban Ocon's turn to try and have a go and get past us. We're still in P3, by the way. Hamilton and Kvyat both started on medium, so they haven't pit yet, but now Ocon's got the overspeed. He's gone down the inside of us. It's a bit tactical, to be honest with you, because this means now that I will get DRS in the next DRS zone, and we keep it around the outside. We keep our foot in, turn it to the inside line, as Ocon keeps ahead of us, but now we have the DRS. Gasly has a DRS on us as well, but that's not going to matter right now, as it's just about me and Ocon, and I get down the inside of Esteban Ocon, back up into P3. It's a brilliant bit of racing between us, and we managed to keep both Ocon and Gasly at bay, but now it is time for the pit stop, and I've decided to pit a lap earlier than was expected of me. The strategy was to pit on lap 13. I've pit at the end of lap 12, as my tyres felt like they were going off a bit from all the defending work, and of course it means now I get an extra outlap in clean air to try and get a bit of a gap on Ocon and Gasly. A 2.7 second stop, not bad for the first pit stop ever for the lads, and lads and ladies in the pit lane, and I actually get the pit exit right for once, because this pit exit at Bahrain is bloody awful, isn't it? But now we're on the pit straight for the next lap, and Esteban Ocon has come into the pits along with Grosjean, Raikkonen and Russell. Where is Ocon going to come out? Is it behind us or is it ahead of us? He is behind us. Look, there we are. We're just going past now, and there is Ocon coming out of the pit lane, and of course he has a compromise line into turn 1, and he's 1.8 seconds behind us, which is absolutely massive. We know that gap will come down very quickly because I'm trying to save fuel now, but I must have done a blistering outlap there to to turn the gap from about 0.3 into 1.8 seconds. And now we're on to the very next lap, and Gasly is now pit, and where's he going to come out? He's behind Ocon, but how far behind Ocon? It seems like a while as he's still in the pits. Ocon's brought the gap down to 1.5 seconds. Gasly is 4.9 seconds behind us. 5.4. He's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. He's 4.5 seconds behind Ocon. They were both right next to each other before the pit stops. Look, Ocon's brought the gap down to nearly a second already, just from 3 turns, which is pretty mad. And now look, it's under a second already. That his car is clearly superior to mine. There's no doubt about it, and it'll only be a matter of time before he's right on our gearbox again, trying to make the moves past us. But it's not only Ocon that we're going to have to deal with. Oh, no, look. People are making their second stops. Norris is in. Albon's in. People are making their second stops. All the guys that started on soft tyres are now making their second stop. So they're all now going to be behind us as well. So this is going to make for a crazy order of race. We're into P11. Of course, we started this race in P18, don't forget. So we're now up to P11, and it's not even a net P11. It's a net P5 or 6 or something like that, because there's still more 2 stops to come. And if they don't get past us on the road, then we could get some big points in our first race as a constructor. And now we move on to the end of lap 16 and the start of lap 17, and more 2 stoppers are making their second stop. Leclerc is in, Perez is in. It's ridiculous now. We're going to be going up into the points there, but we're not thinking about that right now, as Esteban Ocon has got a huge amount of speed to try and get past us, and he has got past us, but he's gone too far to the inside, I think. So I hang it around the outside again, keep my foot in, and keep him behind, and he doesn't hang it around the outside like Gasly did, although he was thinking about it. And I've also got the DRS. We're now up into P9, behind the other Valtteri in this race, Valtteri Bottas, who currently holds the fastest lap. Kvyat is doing a mega job. He's up into P7 as well, as Ocon is still on our gearbox here, trying to make a move into the hairpin here, but he can't quite make it, and he has to stick behind us for a little while longer. But it won't be for that much longer, as Ocon has a chance to have another go onto the main straight. Vettel and Ricciardo are both into the pits, and also Max Verstappen as well, as Ocon gives us a little tag there. He's got past us, but Verstappen's just coming out of the pits, and he's going to get in the way of Ocon, which means we could still stay in front here if we could. Verstappen has given us a massive help there. We're going to get DRS as well off Ocon and Verstappen. Ocon also has DRS, and we stick ahead for one more lap. Max Verstappen, thank you very much But I think now it's just a case of when, not if, Ocon will get past us, as we're on to the next lap now, lap 19, and he's having another go, and this time it's a lot further down the straight, which means that this time, even Albon's having a go at us this time, but this time Ocon's cut us off into turn 1. We try and go around the outside this time, but nothing doing, and unfortunately, it looks like the battle with Esteban Ocon has been won by the Frenchman, as Albon is having a look with DRS, but we managed to cut him off. And we're actually a bit further on in the same lap here. Albon is having a look down the inside of the double left-hander. He's going to have a look. He's going to try and get past me there. He's forced me wide there. I've got the DRS, but Albon also has DRS. And now Sergio Perez is also trying to get past me as well. I have a look to try and get down the inside of Albon again. But, there's no room. And we also compromised Sergio Perez from doing that as well. And the train is starting to get past all of the carriages of the train. I was the front, I was the leader of that train, but now it looks like all of the rest of them have had enough of being part of this train, and they're all trying to get past, and Albon and Ocon are now off into the distance, and it looks like we're not going to see them again in this race. As on to the next lap we go, and Perez is right behind me, but he's also under pressure from Sebastian Vettel. We go into turn 1, Vettel has a look down my inside, he's got past Perez, but nothing doing there, and we managed to keep the position. But it's now just constant pressure from the guys behind. And actually at this point, if you saw the first clip in the video, this is where I actually did that move on Sebastian Vettel, which made his car flip about 360 degrees in the air. And I've managed to cut him off. But Perez, look at Perez! He's got past us! Perez with a double toe on myself and Sebastian Vettel managed to nearly pass us both. He's got past Vettel. We've managed to keep him behind us for now, but he's still looking to try and make that move into turn 4. He's still on our inside there, Perez. He's trying to keep his foot in. He manages to get ahead of us for a bit of a second there, but we go back round the outside of him and he's spun. Perez has spun. Perez has spun out, and wow, I was not expecting that to happen. He tagged our rear tyre and spun around, leaving everyone else slowing down to try and stay out of the way. And that has definitely given us a bit of breathing space now, as Vettel is now 3.7 seconds behind us, so we now have a chance to save a bit of fuel, save ERS. We know they'll catch back up regardless, so we might as well save as much fuel in ERS as we can now to fight them when they catch back up to us once again. And in fact, it only takes one lap for Sebastian Vettel to catch back up to us again. We're looking to defend our position once again on the pit straight. Vettel has got DRS. He's looking to try and make the move on us. He's down the inside of turn 1. I tried to switch back him. That was not the best idea. I try and do it again into turn 3, and now Norris is pressuring us behind us as well. We've got the DRS on Vettel though. We've got the overspeed. Are we going to hang it around the outside once again at turn 4 and try and overtake another car again? It looks like we are, but no, Vettel has kept the speed going. He's got ahead of us, and it looks like he's kept the position, and he has. And it looks like Sebastian Vettel has got away from us as well, and he has. And we're now on lap 27 of 29. 2 laps to go after this one. It's actually Charles Leclerc who's now behind us. Norris actually pit because he had damage. I don't know where he picked the damage up from, whether it was from hitting me. I don't know if he hit me or not. I certainly didn't feel anything, or if it was from beforehand. But anyway, he's pit now, and we've now got the other Ferrari. We're in a Ferrari sandwich here with a filling in a Ferrari sandwich, and Valtteri Bottas is out of the race. He's pulled over with mechanical issues, and we're going to gain another position from that. So we're going to be back up to P7 once again, but can we hold that P7? So here we go then, heading on to the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix, and Leclerc's got a great run to try and get past me here. He's going round the outside into turn 1. He's got past, but I have the inside line. It's my corner. I'm going to compromise him as much as I can, and that allows Pierre Gasly to come back in and try and pressurise Leclerc. We haven't seen Gasly for a while in this race, not since his pit, and now Luke, he's going wheel to wheel with Leclerc, looking to try and make a move into turn 4. They are very wheel to wheel. Gasly gets ahead for a split second, but Leclerc holds the position just about. And saving up fuel, especially after the Perez spin, has really helped me here, as we have one more lap to try and defend from Leclerc and Gasly. Leclerc's got another brilliant run. We're going to force him to the inside this time. Defend for all it's worth to try and keep that P7. Leclerc is miles ahead of us, but this time we're not going to make the same mistake we did with Vettel, or are we? As we try and switch back, we've compromised Gasly in doing so, and Leclerc has got away from us. That's a bit of a shame. Can we try and get back into turn 4? We can, you know. We're going to have a mega dive down the inside. We've hit Leclerc's rear tyre. We've broken a bit of our front wing off. We've oversteered into him, and we've managed to get back ahead of him. But now it is a quest for survival on this final lap. We're missing half of our front wing. Lewis Hamilton has won the race. I don't even know who is ahead of us anymore. Ocon's in 5th, which is a mega job from him. As I said, the order of this race is really, really messed up here. As we try and keep Leclerc behind. That turn is so hard with only half a front wing here. We're using up all the ERS we have, as much of the fuel as possible we have. I don't know if Leclerc's got any damage from the contact or not. I highly doubt it, because it was his tyre that hit. He has a loop down the inside there, but nothing doing, as we managed to not leave any space. And we're just heading round the final few corners now. Can we keep Leclerc behind? We've got this straight, and we've got half of the pit straight to go. Look at how close he is to us, but we hit it up into rich mix. We use a bit of ERS just so he's not literally pushing us. And in the end now, we are on to the pit straight. It's going to be a battle to the line. We're going to have to try and keep him behind if we can. He's got DRS, and we've managed to do it. We come home for P7. What a result that is for our first race. The strategy paid off massively. The driver of the day is Esteban Ocon. That's not a surprise. He went from P17 to P5. And oh, what a race that was. Very big struggle to try and keep all the cars behind. But in the end, we've finished up in P7. And I won't normally talk through this bit, but we're now onto the podium. And look at that. Daniel Kvyat finished in 3rd place. Hamilton, Verstappen, Kvyat is the podium. What a first race of the season that is. Kvyat getting a podium in the first race. I think Albon finished 4th, Ocon 5th. Wow, what an order that was. Obviously, Bottas retired with mechanical issues. And our teammate, Callum Ilott, as well, finished in P14, which is not too shabby at all. Not too shabby. Hamilton won by 32.5 seconds over Verstappen. But again, Hamilton only did a 1-stop. Verstappen did a 2-stop. Kvyat kept Albon behind very, very nicely with his 1-stop from mediums to hards. And yeah, Callum Ilott finishing in P14, keeping the likes of Sainz, Perez, Norris behind him. Norris ends up getting the fastest lap of the race as well. And yeah, that is a great result for the first race of the season. 6 points, you'll love to see it. And I did forget to show the Constructors standings at the end of the race, so there it is. We are in 6th place in the Constructors with 6 points. Of course, all 6 points coming from me. Red Bull lead the way ahead of Mercedes. Of course, Mercedes only had 1 car finish, so that's fair enough. AlphaTauri in 3rd, ahead of Ferrari. Renault and myself and Racing Point with just the 1 point, with Haas, McLaren, Alfa Romeo and Williams not scoring. Wow, what a first race that was. The next race is in China, and I hope you guys will be there for it. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you like what you see and you want to see more, and if you don't want to miss a video, hit that little bell next to the subscribe button and you'll get a notification whenever I upload. But until next time guys, thanks so much for watching. Peace.